My favourite question in the whole interview. What motivates you? Don't forget, all the way through the interview, I've verified your reasons for leaving and your basic salary and your on-target earnings. So if you sing me a merry tune of, I'm motivated by money and you've never earned a decent amount of money, you need to be able to justify that to me. If you actually say, what motivates me is simple. I like to do the job well. I enjoy what I do. And most importantly, the environment is comfortable to work in. That means you're not looking for a sales job. Money, recognition, as important as each other. So for all the people who aren't looking for sales, justify your reason. If you're a salesperson, do me a favour. Money, money, money. Once the interview's actually started, I will begin to question you on your knowledge of my company. So, first question. What do you know about the company? The answer to this is very important. It shows preparation. Now, if you've actually researched, looked at my website and actually understood what the company does, realise what makes us different as a company, that will get you further quicker with the boss. One question I will ask you during the interview is there anything that you can't do that the role requires? Now, this could be a turning point in your interview. If there is something in the role that you can't do, that you've got no experience doing, tell the truth. I say it's a turning point because even though you might not be able to fulfil 100% of the role, I'll still give you the opportunity if you tell me the truth. However, if you say you can do something, in my world this is called over-promising, I can guarantee within the first week I will ask you to do it and then you will be walked out the door because you have over-promised at day one. Once we've discussed all of your experience, I'll then start to question your character. One question I would use to do this is, if I actually called your current line manager, what would they say about you? Now, the answer to this is very, very simple. You tell the truth, but you put a development point in there. So, you're a good character, you're a team player, you're positive, you're great company, you're great to have around, but on my last report, they actually pulled X, Y and Z up as development points. That is a clear, crisp answer. I am interested in other interviews you've attended, so tell me, how many interviews have you been for in the last month? A great answer for this is to bring in the money word. My answer would be, unfortunately, I've been for quite a few interviews, but either the atmosphere hasn't been right or they weren't willing to pay me what I'm worth. I'm looking for a career, so realistically, the next move I make has to be the right one. That gives you the power. The good news is you've got through a first interview with me. Now we're on to the second interview. Now I will test your ability at this stage. So, very simple. Here's a bottle of water. Sell it to me. This is the worst case scenario as a candidate. You're sitting there in an interview situation. You know they want you because you're into second interview. But now you've got to sit and sell a bottle of water in an interview. I've been there, done it, got the t-shirt, most importantly got the job. How did I do it? Rule number 1, relax. Remember, you're the salesperson, not them. Relax, take your time, point out every unique selling point about the water. Most importantly, by the end of the sale, make them take a sip. It's always worked for me. Good news, you're at the end of the interview. The final question I will ask you is there anything you want from me? Any more information I can give you? It's important you ask a question, and not a question such as, what training will be provided, and let's talk about the salary. But if you've been listening and if you've been interacting during the interview, make a note of all the questions you want to ask me. Just make a bullet point, because that will really impress me if you actually come back and challenge or want further information. A question I always ask at an interview, if it's between the hours of 9 to 5:30, is, where does your employer think you are today? Now, the reason I'm asking this question is very simple. Congratulations, you've got your job. I'm your employer. So if you're going to lie to your current employer, I'll think that you're going to do the same with me. Now, it only applies if I'm interviewing you from 9 till 5:30. If, however, like I do a lot, interview at 8 o'clock in the morning or even 8 o'clock at night, it won't even come into my head and I'll think you're the most dedicated, hard-working employee I've ever met.